Soul Land Episode 189 Original Novel Do Luo de Lu. Chapter 222. God Bestowed Spirit Ring. TL by Bagelson. Sea God Doluo Bo Sixi looked at Tang San, filled with admiration. Very good, worthy of being the examinee for the Sea God 9 tests. Figuring out the true secret of the Sea God's light so early, you're not a waste of the Lord Sea God bestowing you the higher trials. Hearing the praise of the highest authority on Sea God Island, everyone immediately understood that Tang San's theory was completely correct. I don't dare accept Senior's praise. But I believe that we can definitely pass the Lord Sea God's trials. Tang San neither servile nor overbearing tone was brimming with resolve. Bo Sixi nodded to him, saying, "Only you yourselves can help you, this is the only time I will give you hints. Of course, if you hadn't already figured it out, I wouldn't have confirmed anything. Each of the later trials will be more difficult than the last. You need to invest even more." Thanks, Senior. Only, could I trouble Senior for something? Tang San asked Bo Sixi. Speak. As long as it isn't related to the tests you need to take, I will satisfy you as far as possible. Bo Sixi's gaze swept, and the Shrek 7 Devils discovered for the first time that a noble aura could also bring people pressure. To them, the Sea God Doluo in front of them was no different from the ocean, both were impenetrably deep. Tang San said. I hope you can have people bring us some food and drinking water. Best quite a lot of water, as you see. While he spoke, he pointed to himself, then to each of the others in turn. Everyone's clothes could only be described as a miserable sight. The Sea God Island's 4 seasons were like spring, substantially different from outside. When they climbed the steps through the Sea God's light, each one of their clothes was soaked through with sweat. Even though they all had spare clothes, if they didn't have enough water to bathe and wash, they well might start smelling before long. If we just have enough food and fresh water, we can always stay here to cultivate, to avoid wasting any of our year's time. Bo Sixi looked somewhat astounded at Tang San, and said. You're preparing to stay here constantly. Tang San directly decided for everyone. Each part of this year, each second, is extremely important to us. Senior, please help us accomplish it. Bo Sixi smiled slightly, and said. Fine. I will instruct people to prepare it for you. Oh, right, the salinity of this ring sea is very low, and moreover completely clean. It can certainly be used for washing. Tang San exulted. Without need for him to say anything, everyone saluted Bo Sixi simultaneously. Bo Sixi's gaze swept past Tang San to fall on Ma Hongzhen. Coming here was actually for him. Ma Hongzhen looked distracted a moment, pointing to his nose. For me? This. Nobody knew what this fatty was thinking, but he blurted out. Senior, you really are very beautiful only, I already have someone in mind. Even a power like the Sea God Doluo stared blankly at his words. Immediately afterward, a slight blush floated onto Bo Sixi's noble face. Fat child, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm far older than your great-grandmother, you're looking for a beating. While speaking, with just a wave of her sleeve, Ma Hongzhen flew off like a rubber ball, directly splashing into the ring sea. Before the Shrek 7 Devils reacted, Bo Sixi waved her right hand again, and Fatty's body flew out of the ring sea, again falling in front of her, unexpectedly without a fraction of a mistake. Mind filled with fancy, let you soak in sea water to wake up. This was still the first time everyone saw Bo Sixi use her full strength. What shocked them was that from Fatty being thrown off up until he was back, they actually hadn't sensed a trace of spirit power. Was this the strength of a 99th ranked power? Ma Hongzhen had just carelessly swallowed a large mouthful of water. He spoke with a bitter face. Senior Grandma, my mistake. Treat what I just said as nonsense. Fatty might seem simple and honest on the outside, but he was actually really intelligent. Confronting an opponent he couldn't defeat, he wouldn't force it. Bo Sixi naturally wouldn't keep arguing with him, smiling slightly she said. There's never been anyone who dared talk like that to me on Sea God Island, it's a fresh experience. Little Fatty, I'll give you an opportunity. Sit. Ma Hongzhen looked distracted a moment, then glanced questioningly at Tang San. Tang San hastily nodded to him, indicating he do as she said. Ridiculous, if Bo Sixi wanted to deal with them, a casual wave of her hand could turn them to ash. Why would she deceive them? Ma Hongzhen then sat down, but his secretive look was still caught by Bo Sixi. Gazing deeply at Tang San, she raised her right hand, and with a flick of her wrist, a golden pearl appeared in her palm. That golden pearl looked as if sculpted from the most precious golden crystal, translucent without the slightest flaw, and most peculiar was that, within this pearl, there was a faint golden mist constantly pulsing. Just like the golden mist that appeared around Tang San and the others under the pressure of the sea god's light. With a golden flash, that golden pearl had flown out, slowly reaching the top of Ma Hongzhen's head. Bo Sixi flicked her fingers, and with a rippling sound, that pearl shattered on top of Fatty's head. Instantly, a rich golden mist poured out and enveloped his body. Bo Sixi's voice echoed in everyone's ears. Each examinee bestowed with a black or higher level sea god's trial can have one chance for a god bestowed spirit ring the first time they reach a bottleneck. Without need to kill spirit beasts, the god bestowed spirit ring will assign a spirit ring with the ability you most need and of the highest level you can bear. Each person only get one chance. Little Fatty, sense it carefully, use your greatest willpower to endure the baptism of the god bestowed spirit ring, then you can obtain the greatest benefits. God bestowed spirit ring? It was 4 simple words, but it made the Shrek 7 Devils' gazes completely lifeless, even Tang San was no exception. In Tang San's mind, he'd always thought a god was a powerful person, or you might say a powerful spirit master. In this world, how could there be something like a god? However, when Bo Sixi took out that god bestowed spirit ring for Ma Hongzhen, he was a bit at a loss. Was this a level humans could reach? The most suitable spirit ring? Then didn't that mean that, when receiving this god-bestowed spirit ring, the greater the strength the greater the benefits? How did Bo Sixi know Fatty had already reached the 60th rank? She should have sensed it when Fatty attacked the sea god's light. But no matter how it was put, this god-bestowed spirit ring was a huge advantage for them. They were after all dry land spirit masters, and this was the ocean, there might not be sea spirit beasts that suited each of them. Only unfortunately, everyone only had one chance. The blurry tint of the golden light mist gradually enveloped Ma Hongzhen. Circles of light began to appear around him, and Tang San could only just manage to see through that golden misty splendor. It seemed like Ma Hongzhen had a painful expression. If this golden light could give him a spirit ring, then his current expression was completely normal. Back then when Tang San first skipped a level to obtain a spirit ring, his expression was even more painful than this. Thinking of this, Tang San thought of that time Xiao Wu went missing. It was precisely because of Xiao Wu that his heart could become so resolute, that he could endure the pain of skipping a level to absorb the man-faced demon spider spirit ring. It was also from then on that he truly became powerful. Fatty gradually began to tremble, the extent of his shaking growing larger and larger, an unhealthy flush appeared on the surface of his skin, one could imagine just how terrible the pain he currently endured was. With a pu sound, a golden red raging flame soared up behind him, instantly turning into a giant phoenix shape, swaying behind Ma Hongzhen. Sea god Doluo Bo Sixi was constantly paying attention to Ma Hongzhen's expression. When Tang San occasionally cast a sidelong glance at her, he could see some praise in her eyes. Clearly, the pain Fatty was currently enduring should already be the limit. Tang San inwardly cheered Fatty on. With the experience of a level-skipping spirit ring absorption, he knew that every second Fatty held out, the effects of the spirit ring he acquired would be boosted by a fraction. Ma Hongzhen really did endure tremendous pain. His willpower was originally the worst of everyone, but ever since the Shrek 7 Devils reunited, he was the only one who hadn't reached 60th rank Spirit Emperor. Even though he didn't say it, but Fatty was also inwardly competitive. Even Oscar with the most disadvantaged spirit had broken 60 ranks, reaching the Spirit Emperor level, so how could he lag behind with the first-rate Fire Phoenix spirit? If he was just cultivating by himself, reaching his current level at his age could already be described as a genius. But that was no match when each person next to him was a genius among geniuses. Or maybe monsters among monsters. Together with Tang San and the others, it was impossible not to be under pressure. Fatty didn't want to fall behind either. Even more so with the factor of Bai Chenxiang. Even though Bai Chenxiang kissed him to complete her trial, Fatty's heart had grown even more determined to pursue her. That kiss had let him deeply understand the fact that innocence was king. In front of Bai Chenxiang, how could he easily compromise with pain? Who knew when she would suddenly wake up from cultivation? Right now, Ma Hongzhen truly experienced why Tang San would say the Sea God's light was an opportunity for them. The key part of the Sea God's trials. Even though he had only endured the pressure of the Sea God's light once, when confronting this pain, even Fatty himself was astounded at his endurance. It seemed to be because of undergoing the pressure of the sea god's light yesterday that his endurance had elevated. Just because of a multitude of such causes, Fatty was dithering on the edge of collapse. Stimulated by the violent pain, a layer of bloody grease even appeared on his skin. Just at this moment, Tang San waved his hand to the others, drawing everyone's attention, and then again pointing to the stairs leading to the sea god's hall. There was no telling how long it would take Fatty to absorb the spirit ring, but with sea god Doluo Bo Sixi here, this could be said to be the safest place. Rather than staying here to watch, it would be better grasp every moment to cultivate. Tang San's proposal immediately drew everyone's response, walking towards the stairs together. Bo Sixi didn't glance at them, but the corner of her mouth revealed a slight smile. Tang San said, "We'll test our own limits. Before climbing, use all support abilities, then endure the pressure of the sea god's light. Like this we can climb as many steps as possible. Don't help each other, only climb with your own abilities. See what our current limits are. When we feel we can't hold out, immediately back down. Don't withdraw too fast, feel your body relaxing as the pressure drops. This is a triangular training method, should actually be pyramid training 1, only Tang San doesn't know about pyramids in the book, 2, from lowest to highest, then again from highest to lowest. This should give the best results. After coming down, don't rush to start cultivating. I still have another thought, we can try it once." The wisdom Tang San displayed had long since gained the approval of the others, and they instantly released their spirits. Since he had already climbed with Xiao Wu once previous, Tang San let her cultivate in the wishful 100 treasure purse. Even though he had consumed a lot of spirit power before, through the rest he had just now, he had still recovered a bit. Adding to what he had left before, his strength should also be around 70%. After Dai Mubai directly released his White Tiger Barrier, White Tiger Vajra transformation, and White Tiger Devil God form, he fearlessly stepped into the sea god's light in front of him. Oscar ate a mirror clone sausage with a drop of Dai Mubai's blood, and equally released the same 3 abilities. Even though he could only use them at around 80% of Dai Mubai's strength, that was still a lot more than climbing on his own. Oscar also had his own advantages. He could constantly eat big recovery sausages to restore his stamina and spirit power as he climbed, and boost himself with the stimulating pink sausage. However, even this wasn't his limit. He still had another even more useful boost ability, his 5th spirit ability. It was also his first 10,000-year spirit ring ability, and even the other Shrek 7 devils hadn't seen it. Oscar was also very intelligent, and like Tang San and Ning Rongrong, he possessed a skull spirit bone, increasing the speed of his thoughts beyond that of an ordinary person. The reason why he didn't suggest using it now was in the hopes he could give his comrades even more momentum to cultivate. Just like Tang San said, they'd attack the trial at the final moment. At that time, if he revealed the power of his 5th spirit ability, it would undoubtedly give everyone double insurance. Tang San formed the first line to start climbing together with Dai Mubai and Oscar, and he also didn't hesitate to release his twin domains once again, simultaneously releasing the 8 spider lances, reaching his peak condition. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zuqing followed behind them. Black light surged over Zhu Zuqing, her 6th spirit ring quietly appearing. Even under direct sunshine, right now her whole body seemed like hidden in darkness. This was Zhu Zuqing's 6th spirit ability, Hell Body. Hell Body. Ability Esoterics, increase dodge chance by 50%, increase resistance by 20%. Increase attack piercing effect by 30%. This was the only support ability among Zhu Zuqing's 6 spirit abilities. She was an agility attack type spirit master, widely known for speed and offense, unlike power attack type spirit masters like Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun who prioritized unreasonably powerful bodies. To be able to have a support ability like this was already quite good. This hell body might not be useful for others, but to Zhu Zuqing, 50% dodge chance and 20% resistance gave her even more survivability in battle. And the 30% piercing effect made her attacks even more frightening. Currently, she used that 20% resistance boost of this ability. As for whether the dodge chance boost could ward off the pressure of the sea god's light, she didn't even consider it. But Ning Rongrong seemed extremely extravagant. Force boost, agility boost, spirit power boost, defense boost, she directly released the 4 boost abilities most useful for resisting the sea god's light on herself. Then she walked forward with Zhu Zuqing. Just as Tang San expected, after using all sorts of support effects beforehand, everyone's resistance of the sea god's light rose considerably. Further adding his own previous experience, Tang San, Dai Mubai, and Oscar walking furthest ahead climbed the first 20 steps like ordinary people climbing mountains, keeping a pretty good pace. Past 20 steps, the gap in strength began to show. Tang San and Dai Mubai climbed with constant speed, but Oscar fell behind. Even if using Dai Mubai's 3 great support abilities undoubtedly made his physical condition reach an unprecedented level, he could in the end only use 80% of their strength, and the condition of his body also couldn't compare to Dai Mubai. However, even so, Zhu Zuoqing following behind couldn't catch up to Oscar either. This clearly showed how dreadful the White Tiger Spirit's 3 great support abilities were. At the same time, Oscar's circumstances also revealed his important effect among the Shrek 7 devils. As long as they had his clone Mirror Sausage, any one of the 7 could possess Dai Mubai's 3 great support abilities at any time. This was also an important reason why Tang San was sure everyone could smoothly pass the trial of the Sea God's Light. As Ning Rongrong reached the 20th step that was her limit last time, she had already clearly slowed down. Even though she boosted herself from the start, there was still a large gap between her and the others in terms of physical strength. If she hadn't eaten an immortal grade herb back then, it would be impossible for her to climb this mountain with the physique of a support system spirit master. Ultimately, Ning Rongrong reached the 26th step, then started to descend. Even though it was only 6 more steps, this still showed that Tang San's proposal was correct. And right now, Tang San and Dai Mubai had already passed 40 steps, Oscar had also climbed 33. At this time, Zhu Zuoqing had caught up and kept pace with him. Very soon, the 2 of them also reached their limit. Oscar, relying on Dai Mubai's Evil Eye White Tiger Spirit's 3 great support abilities finally only fell behind Zhu Zuoqing by 1 step, stopping at 38. And Zhu Zuoqing using Hell Body also climbed 39. Due to the considerable spirit power exhaustion, they didn't dare delay either, and slowly backed down. But Dai Mubai and Tang San were still constantly continuing forward. Golden light pulsed in Dai Mubai's evil eyes. Among the Shrek 7 devils, his body could be said to be second only to Tang San. Under the effect of the 3 great support abilities, he was like a devil god among tigers, his powerful body forcefully splitting open the heavy obstructions in front of him, continuing forward. Peng 1 foot landing on the 45th step, Dai Mubai's movements clearly halted. His limit was just about reached, and his breathing was clearly coarse. Tang San next to him subsequently stopped, without continuing forward, but rather maintaining even breathing, adjusting the mysterious heaven skill within his body. Under the effect of the enormous outside pressure, Tang San discovered that his mysterious heaven skill's movement speed was clearly faster than when he cultivated on his own. This wasn't just because he was urging it to move faster, but also because his body instinctively drew on the mysterious heaven skill to recover under the tremendous pressure. His bones, muscles and meridians needed enough nourishment to do everything they could to resist the pressure, and his inner strength was clearly the key to driving the nutrients to where they were needed. If they stripped naked right now, one would be able to clearly see Dai Mubai's muscles knotted like steel cords, forcefully resisting the pressure. But Tang San's muscles, tendons, and veins would be constantly pulsing, contracting under the pressure, then swiftly rebounding, constantly repeating force-diverting motions. Just like Tang San once used the Blue Silver Emperor to unload the pressure of Spirit Doluo powers. Pang another muffled thump, and Dai Mubai barely managed to set foot on the 46th step. This time, he could clearly feel the kind of difficult to continue feeling he had the first time he climbed. He managed to give Tang San a look, then started to withdraw from the step he set foot on, slowly walking down. Astounding Dai Mubai somewhat was that Tang San didn't keep charging forward again, but rather retreated down with him. Dai Mubai had used practically his full force in this dash, and even though the pressure constantly fell as he retreated, he still felt his body close to exhaustion. Just when he felt he might be thrown out again, a cool aura spread from underfoot to his whole body, a stream filled with vitality undulating through him. At the same time, a strong hand caught his shoulder, stabilizing him with a gentle force. Dai Mubai turned his head to look at Tang San, the 2 brothers smiled at each other, then kept retreating. Reaching the foot of the mountain, 5 people were once again soaked with sweat, in a worse than sorry state, but that kind of feeling of going from extreme suffering to extreme relaxation was refreshing to the bottom of the heart. Just when Tang San was about to say something to his comrades, a burst of violent energy fluctuations came from Ma Hongjun's side, drawing the attention of the unbearably exhausted people. The golden splendor around Ma Hongjun had already transformed, turning into circles of black light revolving around him. Even though Tang San and the others were several dozen meters away, they could still feel how powerful the unrestrained spirit power fluctuations around him were. Each infusion of spirit power transformed Ma Hongzhen minutely. The painful expression had already disappeared, his calm eyes forming a clear contrast to the sweat pouring down his cheeks. Finally, those circles of black light condensed together, becoming an enormous black ring of light being slowly pulled into his body. His original 5 spirit rings now also blossomed with brilliant light. The final moment approached. A loud and resonant phoenix cry suddenly resounded, the enormous fire phoenix silhouette behind Ma Hongzhen seemed to condense, becoming a true phoenix. It was just that phoenix cry resounding at the 9 heavens and soaring to the sky, golden red flame almost enveloping Ma Hongzhen's whole body. That phoenix flame image in the sky constantly shrank, finally reducing into a fire phoenix with a wingspan around 3 meters, flying a circle in the air. Where the fire phoenix passed, ripples of distortion were left behind in the air. It suddenly dove from the air, landing more than 30 meters behind Ma Hongzhen, then again abruptly charging forward, entering Ma Hongzhen's body from behind. In that instant, Ma Hongzhen's clothes suddenly turned to ash, his whole back covered by that charging fire phoenix. The flames shrank, slowly sinking into his back like a tattoo. Fatty opened his eyes in the same instant that fire phoenix pattern disappeared into his back. That instant, his eyes turned completely golden red, violent phoenix flame bursting out from his whole body and soaring high into the air around him, reaching 10 meters high before slowly fading. Ma Hongzhen gave a long whistle, all his fat bizarrely contracting somewhat, his whole body shrinking a size. Even though he was still fat, everyone could feel the explosive might of the energy contained within Fatty. It was done. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 2 black, 6 spirit rings were neatly arrayed around Ma Hongzhen, and along with the flame gradually disappearing, he had finally obtained his 6th spirit ring. The golden red light cascading from his eyes gradually faded, replaced by a difficult to inhibit excitement. Fatty turned to see God Doluo Bo Sixi and hastily saluted. Many thanks for senior's assistance. Bo Sixi didn't answer him, already turning to leave once the flame disappeared, step by step walking towards the sea god's hall. As if she stepped on clouds, her body ascended, and her voice also seemed to echo from all directions. The next time someone reaches a bottleneck, I will appear again. Light flashed, and Bo Sixi's silhouette was gone without a trace. Fatty raised his head, somewhat mystified looking in the direction Bo Sixi disappeared, mumbling. Why would this senior ignore me? Dai Mubai fought his weak body, laughing out loud. Fatty, pretty good capital. Ma Hongzhen went expressionless for a moment. He discovered that Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zuqing for some reason had already turned their heads. Tang San, Oscar and Dai Mubai were looking at him as if smiling yet not smiling. Subconsciously looking himself over, he immediately yelped, discovering that he was completely naked, and hastily covered his vitals with both hands, dashing over behind a large tree. In his heart he was thanking his luck that Bai Chenxiang was still cultivating and didn't see him embarrassed. Oscar laughed out loud, saying, "What are you running for? Don't worry, we're not interested in your shining white big butt." Dai Mubai supported himself on Tang San's shoulder, saying, "Little San, I can't go on, I'm so weak. I'll start cultivating." Tan San said, "Don't rush, I have an idea. What would the effect be if we cultivated within the sea god's light? Have you thought about it?" Zhu Zuqing and Ning Rongrong turned around. Even though they were also weak, it wasn't as clear as the side effects from Dai Mubai's 3 great abilities. They looked at Tang San with eyes full of astonishment. Oscar smiled wryly. "Little San, you really have more and more ideas. This time we'll be tortured again." Tang San said. "Cultivating within the sea god's light, we can endure outside pressure at all times. Moreover, I discovered that within the pressure of the sea god's light, our spirit power movement speed will be a lot faster than ordinarily. Just like using spirit abilities. Like this, if everything goes smoothly, we will cultivate spirit power a lot faster." Dai Mubai said. "Alright, we'll try. Cultivating on which step would be best?" Tang San muttered to himself and said. "Start from the first step. Test if there really is an effect, then we'll go higher. We'll get fat if we eat everything in one gulp." "Third brother, you can't be like that. Even if I'm a bit fat, you can't put me up as a bad example." Ma Hongzhen leapt out, having already changed clothes, just in time to hear what Tang San said last. Tang San laughed out loud, saying, "Fatty, what's your 6th spirit ring ability?" At Tang San's question, Fatty immediately grew proud. It's a pure long-range attack ability, called Phoenix Cloud Piercing Strike. Even though I don't know how strong it is, I can feel that the God-bestowed spirit ring is equivalent to at least a 40,000-year or more spirit beast-formed spirit ring. This power, heh. Tang San said. You just spent a lot of effort, cultivate in the sea god's light with us. We'll see if it's effective. Stop immediately if there are any adverse effects. Before starting, Tang San infused the remainder of his spirit power into Oscar, letting him manufacture a few big recovery sausages, making everyone's spirit power recover somewhat. Then they once again entered the sea god's light. The stairs leading to the sea god's hall were more than 10 meters wide, plenty for 6 people to sit. Tang San at the same time also took out Xiao Wu from the wishful 100 treasure purse, placing her next to him. Just like Xiao Wu said herself, her current body basically wouldn't be harmed under this pressure. Even though it was only the first step, the omnipresent pressure of the sea god's light still squeezed everyone's bodies. Slowly sitting down, everyone started to gather spirit power according to their cultivation methods. As soon as they started cultivating, they discovered what Tang San spoke of. Under the outside pressure of the sea god's light, their spirit power circulation speed clearly improved, so much so that it was faster than their ordinary cultivation speed even without a need to consciously control it. It seemed the same as spirit power automatically circulating with outside stimulation. Very soon, everyone excitedly discovered that, cultivating on this first step, their spirit power recovery speed was higher than cultivating outside. Gradually, they entered a cultivation state, simultaneously becoming aware that this first trial, overcome, sea god's light, might be a rare opportunity of their whole lives. Spirit Hall, Doluo Palace. Doluo Palace was located at the peak of Spirit Hall's sacred mountain. It had near absolute authority. Compared to Supreme Pontiff Palace, Doluo Palace was a bit smaller, but all the priests here had Doluo titles. Within Doluo Palace were no gorgeous furnishings, it was all built from simple and unadorned rock. But if you looked carefully, you would find a very faint golden luster on the simple rock. Touching it with your hand, you would feel a strange energy fluctuating in your palm. Apart from the direction of the entrance, on the other 3 walls of Doluo Palace were enshrined one glorious golden board after another. Each board was half a meter high, 1 chi wide, on each was inscribed 3 or 4 characters. There were boards attached to the walls as far as the eye could see, altogether more than several hundred. Each of these boards represented a title Doluo that had received their title here since the founding of Doluo Palace. 1 Pyramid training, starting your training at highest intensity, then decreasing stepwise to induce maximum fatigue. 2 In the West, pyramid has referred both to the Egyptian tombs and anything in their shape ever since ancient Greece. In China, the introduction is much more recent, and their word literally translates as gold-lettered pagoda. In this case the training method is also a direct translation from English. It ends here. Soon wait me, I will make 10 episodes in one day. Haha, now a bit slow in update. Many assignments are not done. Good luck you all. Likes, subscribes and shares, also comments. Ciao.